Mate, London is absolutely bleeding residents. And the figures that just dropped are properly mental. 347,000 people have done a runner from London. In just 18 months. That's an entire bloody city. Vanished into thin air. The capital that spent 5 centuries as the world's most sought-after city? Now watching 12,000 residents leg it every single week. These aren't gap year students heading home. These are proper residents. British-born families who've been here for donkey's years. All coming to the same gutting conclusion. London isn't worth the hassle anymore. Let's crack on with what nobody wants to chat about. London's population has gone into reverse. For the first time since the Black Death in 1348. After decades of growth that pushed London to 9 million souls in 2020. Everything's gone completely pear-shaped. Office for National Statistics figures show net domestic migration. Sitting at negative 347,000. That means more Brits are legging it from London than rocking up. And it's picking up pace. The government doesn't shout about these numbers. Because honestly, it looks absolutely rubbish for a world capital to be emptying out. But council tax records tell the proper story. GP registrations tell the proper story. School enrollment data tells the proper story. Between January and November 2024, roughly 420,000 residents scarpered from London. For good. The only reason the population isn't tanking faster? International students and refugees filling the gaps left by British families. But even they're starting to pack it in. The biggest reason people are doing one is dead simple. London has become mathematically bonkers. For anyone not in the top 5% of earners. And even they're getting absolutely hammered. Let's chat rent first. Because it's completely barking. A 1-bedroom flat in Zone 2. Think Clapham, Brixton, Hackney. Was going for about £1,200 monthly back in 2019. That same flat now? £2,400. That's a 100% jump. In just 5 years. 2-bedroom flats families actually need? Shot from £1,800 to £3,800 in half-decent areas. Fancy a house with a garden for your little ones? £4,000 minimum. And that's out in Zone 4. Wages haven't kept up. Not even remotely close. The average London salary bumped up maybe 15% over the same stretch. Most people got zilch. Or below inflation raises that cover absolutely nothing. Here's what that means in real life. A mid-level professional on £45,000 yearly. Which is above the UK median. Used to spend 30% of take-home on rent. Today? That same person is handing over 70% of their wages. Just for a roof. After tax, they're pocketing £2,800 monthly. And chucking £2,000 at rent. £800 left for everything else. Food. Travel. Clothes. Savings. It's absolutely crackers. Transport costs have gone through the roof. A Zone 1 to 3 travel card was £2,000 yearly back in 2019. It's now £2,800. That's just to get to your job. But here's the sneaky cost. Time. The average London commute is now 74 minutes each way. That's 2.5 hours daily. 12 hours weekly. 600 hours yearly. You're burning 25 full days annually. Just getting about. People are shifting further out to afford rent. But then forking out more on transport. And watching their lives drain away commuting. Zone 6 might look cheaper. But when you're spending 4 hours daily on trains. And £3,000 yearly on travel. You're saving nothing. You're just slowly dying inside. For families, London has become absolutely impossible. Childcare costs more than bleeding university. Average nursery fees hit £2,000 monthly per kid. That's £24,000 annually after tax. For just one child. Schools are a complete nightmare. Good state schools are oversubscribed 10 to 1. You literally need to live within 200 meters to get a spot. But houses near good schools cost millions. Can't swing it? Private school runs £25,000 yearly. Per kid. A family with 2 children needs a 3-bedroom flat at £4,000 monthly. Childcare or school fees at £4,000 monthly. Basic living costs at £2,000 monthly. That's £10,000 monthly just to survive. £120,000 after tax. You need to be pulling in £180,000 before tax. How many jobs pay that sort of money? The birth rate in London has absolutely tanked. Down 34% in 5 years. Families are either fleeing. Or never starting one at all. The city's becoming a temporary pit stop for 20-somethings. Before reality boots them out. Crime has gone absolutely mental. while policing has fallen apart. Knife crime up 43%. Phone thefts up 300%. You can't wander about with your phone out anymore. Women don't feel safe. Sarah Everard. Sabina Nessa. Zara Alina. These aren't just numbers. These are women murdered. Just trying to get home safe. Every woman in London has a safety plan now. Keys gripped tight. Fake phone calls. Never walking solo. But even posh areas aren't safe. Hampstead had 17 burglaries last month. Chelsea had a knife attack in broad daylight. Nowhere is immune. The Metropolitan Police is in special measures. That's government speak for completely knackered. Response times for emergencies average 52 minutes. For non-emergencies? They don't show up at all. You report crime online and get a crime reference for insurance. That's your lot. The NHS in London is on its last legs. GP appointment waits average 3 weeks. Need a specialist? 6 months minimum. A&E waiting times average 8 hours. People are literally dying in waiting rooms. Private healthcare, sure. If you can chuck £300 at a GP visit. And thousands at any procedure. Health insurance that actually works? £5,000 yearly for basic coverage. Dental care on NHS doesn't exist. 9 out of 10 dentists won't take NHS patients. Private dentist? £300 for a checkup. Need actual work done? Thousands. Mental health services have 18-month waiting lists. Meanwhile, London has the highest depression and anxiety rates across Europe. London is the loneliest city on the planet. Research proves it. 9 million people. And nobody has a proper chat with anyone. Community is dead and buried. Your neighbors don't know your name. Local boozers have shut down. 3,000 gone in the last decade. Community centers flogged off for flats. Churches turned into climbing walls. Dating is impossible. Everyone's too skint. Too knackered. Too stressed out. Average age of first-time buyers has hit 41. How do you build a relationship when you're still flat sharing at 35? Friendship groups fall apart as people scatter to other cities. Your uni mates have legged it to Manchester. Work colleagues stick around 6 months before moving on. Everyone's temporary. Nothing takes root. Who's filling the British exodus? International students coughing up £40,000 yearly. Who disappear after studying. Tech workers on temporary visas. Mega-wealthy foreigners who don't actually live here. Just stash their cash. London's turning into a hotel. Not a home. A transit point. Not a destination. The soul is dying. As communities get swapped out for temporary residents. With zero stake in the city's future. Schools are emptying of British children. Some primary schools are 90% international students. Not diverse. Just temporary. They vanish after a couple years. No continuity. No community. The city is gutting itself from the inside. British culture. Cockney accents. Local traditions. All fading away. Replaced by some generic global city. That could be anywhere on Earth. London's losing everything that made it London. People aren't just leaving for cheaper rent. They're leaving for actual lives. Manchester offers 60% lower costs with similar wages. Birmingham gives you a proper house for the price of a London cupboard. Edinburgh delivers culture without the crushing costs. But loads are leaving the UK completely. 43,000 Londoners shipped off to Dubai last year. Spain grabbed 67,000. Australia took 38,000. They're not coming back. Remote work shattered the London trap. Why hand over £2,000 for a box in Zone 3? When you can graft from a beach in Portugal for £500? Why commute 2 hours? When you can stroll to a local office in Bristol? The maths is simple. In London, you exist. Elsewhere, you actually live. People are choosing life. London's trapped in a death spiral it can't escape. Sky-high costs push out residents. Fewer residents means less tax revenue. Less revenue means dodgier services. Dodgier services push out more residents. Rinse and repeat until everything collapses. The city needs £8 billion yearly just for basic upkeep. But the tax base is shrinking. Businesses are leaving. Retail is dead. Oxford Street sits 30% empty. Office occupancy limping at 40%. The City of London financial district is emptying out. Banks shifting to Frankfurt. Paris. Dublin. Brexit killed London's EU business. Tech fleeing to Amsterdam. What's actually left? Tourism down 40% from pre-2019 levels. International students being killed off by visa restrictions. Financial services getting nicked by Singapore and Dubai. Tech being won by Dublin and Berlin. London has zero plan. Except hoping rich foreigners keep snapping up property they'll never live in. That's not a city. That's a Ponzi scheme. And Ponzi schemes always come crashing down. London is dying. Not dramatically. Not obviously. Just slowly emptying of everyone who made it worth living in. The teachers, nurses, artists, entrepreneurs, all leaving or already gone. What's left is a hollowed-out investment vehicle for global capital. A theme park for tourists. A temporary stop for international students. But not a home. Not a community. Not somewhere to build a life. The exodus isn't slowing down. It's speeding up. Every month smashes new records for people leaving. The city that survived the plague. The Great Fire. The Blitz. Couldn't survive greed. Nobody wants to live in London anymore. Because London doesn't want anyone to live there. It only wants your money. And once that penny drops, leaving becomes the only sensible choice. So what about you? Have you already done a runner from London? Or are you still stuck there, planning your escape? Drop your story in the comments. I want to hear it. If this hit home, smash that like button. And subscribe if you want more content like this. Share this with someone who needs to see it. Someone who's still trapped in that London bubble. See you in the next one.